I do not wish women to have power over men, but over themselves. The beginning is always today. No man chooses evil because it is evil, he only mistakes it for happiness, the good he seeks. Taught from infancy that beauty is woman's scepter, the mind shapes itself to the body, and roaming round its gilt cage, only seeks to adorn its prison. Women are told from their infancy, and taught by the example of their mothers, that a little knowledge of human weakness, justly termed cunning, softness of temper, outward obedience, and a scrupulous attention to a puerile kind of propriety, will obtain for them the protection of man. A well-informed mind is the best security against the contagion of folly and of vice. It is justice, not charity, that is wanting in the world. The more I see of the world, the more I am dissatisfied with it, and every day confirms my belief of the inconsistency of all human characters, and of the little dependence that can be placed on the appearance of either merit or sense. The being cannot be termed rational or virtuous, who obeys any authority, but that of reason. The divine right of husbands, like the divine right of kings, may, it is hoped, in this enlightened age, be contested without danger. I love man as my fellow, but his scepter, real, or usurped, extends not to me, unless the reason of an individual demands my homage, and even then the submission is to reason, and not to man. Independence I have long considered as the grand blessing of life, the basis of every virtue, and independence I will ever secure by contracting my wants, though I were to live on a barren heath. The mind that is not debased by servitude, must be elevated by freedom. The first and grandest of all laws is the wisdom that regulates the conduct of men in their respective places and stations. The wise man must remember that while he is a descendant of the past, he is a parent of the future. The power of acquiring knowledge is the only vengeance men can take upon their enemies. The most virtuous women have something within them, something that is never chaste. My own sex, I hope, will excuse me, if I treat them like rational creatures, instead of flattering their fascinating graces, and viewing them as if they were in a state of perpetual childhood, unable to stand alone. The mind is strengthened by labor, and the character formed by the struggle with difficulties. Women ought to have representatives, instead of being arbitrarily governed without any direct share allowed them in the deliberations of government. The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her, if she is pretty, and to someone else, if she is plain. It is time to effect a revolution in female manners, time to restore to them their lost dignity. It is time to separate unchangeable morals from local manners. Women are systematically degraded by receiving the trivial attentions which men think it manly to pay to the sex, when, in fact, men are insultingly supporting their own superiority. Women have seldom sufficient employment to silence their feelings, a round of little cares, or vain pursuits frittering away all strength of mind and organs, they become naturally only objects of sense. The most perfect education, in my opinion, is such an exercise of the understanding as is best calculated to strengthen the body and form the heart. I cannot but lament bitterly, that women are seldom, if ever, to blame for their own misconduct.